Here's the solution to question 2 of homework 3. From this question, we find 4 problems. Let's begin the first one. And here's the solution. We know that x is uniform in -1 to 2, so we can get the density of x equals 1/3 when x is larger than or equal to -1 and smaller than or equal to 2, otherwise it's 0. We know that the distribution of x is the integral of the density of x. So when x is smaller than -1, we know that the distribution of x is 0. When x is larger than or equal to -1 and smaller than 2, the distribution of x equals this expression. And when x is larger than or equal to 2, the distribution of x is equals to 1. So here's the expression of a distribution of x. According to this expression, we can draw this figure of the distribution of x. And let's begin the second problem. Is finding and draw f at the density of y. And we know that y equals x squared. And for y is smaller or equal to 0, the distribution y equals to 0. And for y is larger than 0, smaller than or equal to 1, there are 2 real roots. Let's look at this picture. This is the y-x picture, and this represents y equals to x squared. We know that when y is larger than 0, smaller than 1, there are two real roots. So according to fundamental theory, we can get the density of y equals this formula, and we can get this results, and finally we can get the density of y equals these equations. And for y is larger than 1, smaller or equal to 4, there are only 1 real roots. Look at this picture. When y is larger than 1, smaller or equals to 4, there are only one real roots. So according to fundamental theory, we can get the density of y. So we can get the final density of y. According to these expressions, we can draw the pictures like this. This is the figure of the density of y. And let's begin the third question. Is finding and drawing the distribution of y. And we know that the density of y, so we can know that the distribution is the integral of the density. So we can get this equations when y is smaller or equal to 0, the distribution of y equals 0. When y is larger than 0, smaller or equal to 1, the distribution equals to this. And when y is larger than or small or equal to 1, smaller than 4, the distribution of y equals to this. And when y is larger than or equal to 4, the distribution equals 1. So we can finally get the distribution of y. According to these expressions, we can get this figure of the distribution of y. And let's begin the final problem. We have to find in the mean of the y. We can know that the mean of y is the integral of y times the density of y. So we can get there are two regions. One is 0 to 1 and the other one is 1 to 4. So we can get finally